Now everything is here. This exactly like you see it. It's spelled out for you so you can say it. It is in book print. That's what you call book print. I try to make my Hebrew as close to book print or even better than book print. And as you can see in here, there are some things that you can hardly tell one word, one letter from another in Hebrew. It's very close. They're very, very close. So I have made mine a little different so you can tell which one it is. Okay? Now, there are 22 consonants in Hebrew, and let's look at it. Let's say them. Now, over here to the right, as you can see, I spelled out what it actually stood for originally in the old, what we call archaic Hebrew. Aleph. Say that, Aleph. And there it is, too. See there, Aleph. And then it's the sound is represented as silent. See that? Where it says silent right there. In other words, you don't see. You keep asking me about this. The reason why I've gone back is because I think you guys have advanced enough to where Brother Mike is a genius anyway. You know, he's the genius. There's no ands and buts about it. And he is going a little further than what I am bringing you at times, and he'll ask questions then. Like last week, he wanted to know what that final word was.
I can't even remember if I was here last week.
You were here.
What you're talking about.
All right.
Exactly.
And so now the Aleph is silent, but the vowels is what shows it. Now, the vowels were not invented until the 7th century A.D. So a lot of times when I write Hebrew on the board, I don't even put the vowels in it, because originally you had to know them. You had to know the Hebrew to say it, because there weren't any vowels anyway. They were invented until 700 A.D. All right? The Bible, the Hebrew Old Testament is written B.C., before Christ. Okay? Not A.D. All right? So the Aleph is silent, and then we have the Bet. Bet. They bet. All right? It can be a B or a V. All right? A B or a V. Now see where it says the form and then final form and represented in transliteration by. Do you see that? It's a B or a V. So it can be B or V, according to how you get Brother Rex.
Why did you write house after?
Okay, now, because faith, the idea, that was the original Hebrew alphabet, the Beth in the Hebrew alphabet also meant house. And Bethlehem means house, Beth, house of bread. Okay? Beth. Now that's what it's represented. Now, Gamel. Gamel. And it's a G or a GH sound. It's a hard G or a GH sound. Okay? It's Gamel, and a G like in gold, and it's represented by a camel. Okay? By a camel. And then I draw a little picture of the camel. When I was doing this, I went into the Middle East, and I was reading archaic Hebrew. So that's the reason why I did this, okay? So you got something that goes way, way back yonder, all right? Now we have Dalet. Dalet is a D, or a hard D, or a DH, a soft one, okay? And it's like D in day, or TH in them, all right? Now Hey, or Hey, that is. Hey, all right? It's like a H, all right? H and half. And it's like a window. D was like a, Dalet was like a door, and the Hey is like a window, okay? And then we have the word wow, or in modern Hebrew is vow. Vow or wow, okay? All right? And it's like W, and it's like a reaping hook, okay? It's like a W or a V. Right? A W or a V. You can write V in there because this is biblical Hebrew grammar. This is not modern Hebrew. Okay? Biblical Hebrew is different than the modern Yiddish Hebrew. Okay? And then we have the word Zion. Zion. All right? And it's like a Z in English, like zeal, and it's like a weapon. See that little thing? It looks like this is how I make it. Okay? I make it separate so it won't look like any other words. The words look so much alike. So I separate it, okay? That's a Zion. I separate it. All right, now let's go to the Het, or Chet. Het, or modern Hebrew will call it Chet. All right? Or Het. It's like an H or a CH. All right? And it's like a fence. Like a fence. This Chet is a little different than the Het. All right? Let me show you the difference in them. Hey and Chet. It's like that. See the difference? This one is not connected. This one is connected. All right? All right. Chet or Het. And then we have Tet. All right? And that looks like the snake. All right? It's like T and toy, or Tet. All right? And then we have Yod. Yod. And that's a Y. And it's like a hand. Like this, like a hand. All right? And it's a, this is what it looks like in Hebrew. Remember what this is? That's Jehovah. All right? It's got a Yod in front of it. And then a Hey, Thou, or Wow, and Hey. So there we have Yod. It's like a hand. And then we have Kaf. Now here we have, we'll get down here to Kaf, Brother Mike. Last week you asked me about this. Now the final Kaf, all right, and the Pei look a lot alike. You can't hardly tell them apart. All right? The Kaf, it looks like, as you see, the first one looks like a, it looks like this. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. And then the final is like this. Okay? It's got, it's like the Old English. Old English had an S that looked like this and an S like that. All right? Old English before 1800 was printed, the F, or the S in the word looked like an F, and then the final looked like an S, like Congress. Okay? This is a whole lot like that. That's Congress. That's the way you used to write Congress before 1800. That was a S and that was a S. It's not Congress, it's Congress. That's a S and a final S. In Hebrew, you have a Kaf and a final Kaf. And it's like a K and a KH. All right? Kaf. And then Lamet. Lamet. And that looks like a whip. Okay? And see, I have whip written out there. All right, whip. Lamet. That's one of the easiest Hebrew letters to recognize. And then we have the word maim. Maim. All right? Maim, there is a final, there's a mem and a final. Here we have it like this, and then we have it like this. And when I write it, you will see it like that. So you can tell that this is a maim. I make it like that specifically, okay? I show it up here open, so you know that's a mem and not a samic, okay? And then we have neen. Neen. All right? And there's two of them. There's two of them. In my writings, you will see it like this. That's the final. All right? And the other one will be like this. All right? See that right there? That's a neen, or noon, and a noon. One in the word and one final. Okay? I haven't gone through this with you yet. This is the first time I ever did this. Okay? But Mike was advancing along, so I have to get the rest of the class caught up with Mike. Well, you were seeing it, brother. You wanted to know what it was. Remember? Huh?
I'm going to have to quit coming if you keep... I don't know what... anything about this.
All right. Well, you know what? Some people gather stuff faster than others. And that's just the way it is. Some people
certain little details.
Certain little details.
But not the big picture.
Maybe not the big picture, but you got certain details, and that's the way it is. And you got to stay up with your fastest student, and you got to stay up with the slowest one. That's just the way you got to do it. So I'm dragging around here just a little bit further, the neen, and then the psalmic. All right, psalmic. Psalmic. All right, now this, I write it like this. This is what my psalmic will look like that. Okay? In your letters. It looks a whole lot like this one. You just can't hardly tell it apart. All right, from the mean. Is it helping you, Brother Mike? Not even catching this? You were catching what the letters look like, the finals and everything. Okay? Now, let's go on a little further. We got the psalmic, S, and that's like a prop. And the other one, by the name, by the way, was a fish, and the man was water. I forgot to go all the way over in those. Now, ayin. Ayin. And by the way, what kind of a letter does it stand for? Nothing. It's nothing. You've got to put a vowel in it before it makes a sound. All right? It's silent. Okay? Ayin. And the idea of it is eyes. All right? The ayin is eyes. Look at this. In Old Hebrew, it will be written like this. See, like this? And it'll have little eyes up there. All right? Ayin. Ayin. And it's kind of got a short tail down here on it, see? All right? Ayin, and then pay. Pay. And pay has got a pay and a final. See, now this final is a lot like this over here. And the pay, and here's your cough, and here's your pay now, okay? I just make the pay a little bit longer, and the pay in the word is always got that in it, okay? And then at the end of it, it's like this. All right? You have a pay and a final pay. All right? And that's like a mouth. See, like a mouth with a tongue in it. See that? All right, like a mouth with a tongue in it. Okay, see the tongue sticking out there? Like that? All right, now we have sadhe. 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 If I say that? Sadhe. Sadhe. And it's got a final. And this is a little easier to tell, okay? The final, as you can see, it's got a sadhe and then a final. A sadhe, and it's like a TS, as in hits, and it's like a fish hook. The original idea was a fish hook, okay? And then we have kof, kof, all right? Look at that. All right, kof. It's like Q, and kof is the back of the head, all right? Kof and kof are a whole lot alike, as you can see. Hebrew's got a lot of sounds in the throat, and a lot of S's, and a lot of T's, okay? And then resh. Resh. See that one? And that's like our R, and the sound of it is like a R, and it's like the back of the head. The back of the head. All right? And then we have the word sin and shin. Sin and shin basically are the same letters. All right, the sin has got a dot over the first part of that, and the shin has got one in the back. Sin and shin. See the different ones? And then tau. Tau. Tau, I write it like this, so you can tell it, all right? Because it might look like a check. They are so much alike, these letters, all right? So I try to make them different. So now, as you look at your interlinear that I have for you, you can tell why I did certain things. All right? Did that help? Did that help? See it or no? All right? Poquito. All right. Well, I drug you up where Mike was on this. He was starting to see the finals. See?
I was just hunting for that letter and I couldn't find it in there, and I forgot you had finals.
Yeah, I hadn't introduced you to the finals yet. You were going to get to them sooner or later. But when your student starts asking about it, then you've got to bring it to the rest of the class, see? So that's what you do. Because you start discovering certain little things. As you start studying Hebrew, you start studying little things, okay? Now let's go back and let's start reading Genesis 4 and verse 15. Does anybody know this first word? Anybody remember this? Well, Mike, you know this one? Look at that one. Does that look familiar? Anybody? Brother John, well, you missed a couple of classes, so you probably got a little rusty on it, but you might be able to do it. How about that word there? Biomer. Biomer. B-A-I-Y-O-M-E-R. Biomer. Okay? And then loave, or loave.
Loaf.
All right? All right. And now we have the word what? What's this word? Hashem, Hadavar, Adonai. This is the word Jehovah right here. Okay? The word Jehovah. And then Lachen.
Lachen.
Lachen. All right? That's L-A-C-H-E-N. Lachen. And then, who do you know this one, brother? Who knows this next one?
Well, yeah, which one?
4:15. 4:15. What's the next one? The second line down. Anybody know how to read that one? What is it, brother? Coal. Coal. K-O-L. Coal. All right? It would be chol if it didn't have a dent in the middle of it. Hareg.
Hareg.
Hareg. And then Cain.
Cain.
And then Shiv. Cain. Let's go back. Hareg is H-A-R-E-G, or Horeg. And then Cain, K-A-Y-I-N. I don't want to leave you out here so you can get all this stuff written down, because we'll go back and read it again, see. The next one is Shiv A-Tai-Yim. Shiv A-Tai-Yim.
That's the very last one?
That's the last one on that line. It's S-H-I-V-A-T-A-Y-I-M. Shiv A-Tai-Yim. And then the next word, the third line down, is Yukam. 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 Y-U-K-K-A-M. Y-U-K-K-A-M. Yukam. Bayasem. Bayasem. B-A-I-Y-A-S-E-M. Bayasem.
With an F?
Sem. M.
S?
S. B-A-I-Y-A-S-E-M.
That's the second word over.
Got me here.
That's the second word. And then the third one is what? What's that third word?
Hadavar.
Okay, Jehovah. All right. Hadavar. Likayan. Likayan. L-E-K-A-Y-A-N. Likayan. We're talking about two. Remember when you got a lamet in front of a word? That means two. All right? You're pointing to him. Likayan. L-E-K-A-Y-I-N. Then the next one is Ot. 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 O-B-T. You actually swallow the D. See that vowel in the middle of it, or wow? Ot. The Hebrews can kind of say that a little bit, that vowel, but you don't hear it.
Sounds like O-A-T.
Uh-huh. Ot. And Levi-El, Levi-El, L-E-V-I-L, L-E-V-I-L, Levi-L-T, Levi-L-T, Levi-L-T. All right, Levi-L-T. L-E-V-I-L-T-I. And then the next word is Hak Coat. Hak Coat. H-A-K-K-O-V-T. La Coat. And then Otav. 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 It's an O-T-O-V. The last word on there, Otav. That's him.
On the last page?
No, on the last page. Now we're going to the last page, 415b, is what? What is that word? We saw it already in this sentence. Which one is this one? What's this word? Anybody know what that word is?
Oh.
Coal. Thank you, Brother John. Coal. All right? Coal. K-O-L. And then we have this Motizol. Motizol. M-O-T-Z-E-O-B.
Now you're on the
Motizol.
next page.
That's the last one on the next page.
Okay.
That's the last two words there. The first one is coal, and the next one is Motizol. All right, now let's look and see the most important part of it. All right, let's read it. Vayomer Lob, Jehovah, Lakan, Kol, Hareg, Cain, Shiva, Teim. Come on, you guys, right? Read that with me now, if you can. And then Yukam, Vayasem, and then Jehovah again. La Cain, Ot, Vivelti, Hakot, Otav, Kol, and Motzov.
Coal.
All right. And he said to him, Jehovah. Now, Jehovah is confronting Cain. All right? Jehovah is confronting Cain. And look what it says here now. Third person, masculine, singular, cal, wow, consecutive, and perfect. Okay? Now, he's talking to Cain, and he continues and repeats himself over and over again. He's trying to get his attention. God is trying to get Cain to go the right way. But Cain is refusing. Because Cain has a volition, doesn't he? Cain has, every one of us has volition. Even a dog and a cat have certain kind of volition. Angels had volition. All right? Volition. In other words, they make decisions. Viomer. And he kept on saying to him, Lo, to him, Jehovah, or Hadabar, Lakim, therefore, anyone, that's call is an all or everyone or anyone killing, hareg, say that word hareg, hagreg, that's the word killing right there. Anyone killing, cal participle, look at that. Anyone killing Cain, they're going to, now how did Cain kill Abel? Hevel, remember Hevel? Abel?
Slashed him.
Yeah, what kind of a action did he have?
A slicing action, yeah.
He kept slashing, he cut him into smithereens. Cain cut his brother up. Sliced and sliced and sliced, kept on killing him. All right? Murdered him viciously. Okay? It's so that now the Lord is saying to Cain, anyone slashing you like you slashed your brother. All right? In English, that's the word killing. That's a cal participle. We have gerunds in English. Gerunds is something that I'm running, jumping.
Can you verb to a noun or something? Or let's see, a noun to a verb?
It was kind of,
A verb to a noun.
in Greek, it's a verb-noun combination. Okay? But a gerund is something that it's running, jumping, flying, all right, killing. Killing. Anyone killing and slashing you, Cain, like you slashed your brother. Okay? Cain, Shiva Taim. Sevenfold. Shiva, say Shiva Taim.
Shiva Taim.
Okay, that's sevenfold. Yukkam. He shall be avenged. Yukkam. He shall be avenged. He shall keep on being avenged. All right, third person masculine singular. Cal, imperfect. Avenged by Yasem. And placed or set. Placed or set. All right, here's the old thing now. Brother Rex, you remember back in the old days they used to say what kind of a mark was set on Cain, remember?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, what did they used to say back in the old days? What happened to Cain? What did happen to him? What did people say a long time ago?
I don't remember all
Well, the old story was they turned him black. That God turned him black. That was the story. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, now you remember. That's what they used to say in the old days, that God turned Cain black so everybody could see him, that he was a sinner. All right? And said, God, now, what happened, what kind of mark he set on him, we don't know. Okay? What kind of mark he placed on him, we don't know. He placed or set. He kept on setting upon him. In other words, he marked him and he stayed marked. That's what that verb says right there. He marked him and stayed marked because it's in the imperfect tense. Okay? And then who did it? Who did it? Who marked it? Jehovah. All right? How do you say that now? How do we say the word? Ha-davar. Ha-davar. The word. Hashem. The name or the word. The name or the word for the person of God. That's his personal name right there. That's God's name. And of course, in the New Testament, who is he? Jesus. Li Cain. Li Cain. To Cain. All right? Li Cain. To Cain. All right? He placed Jehovah upon Cain a sign. Look at that word. Ot. That's the word sign right there. Sign. Ot. Can you say that word? Ot. All right? Li velti. So as not, he marked him. He branded him. Whatever he did to him. Hakavot. So as not, that word so as not, to strike. Hithel, infinitive construct, to strike him, ato. Kol, anyone or everyone, motazol, anyone finding Cain. All right. Finding Cain, cal participle there. Motazol. Let's go to 4:16, okay?
Can I?
Yes.
What is the reason for this? I don't understand that verse. Why did he get marked? And with a threat of anyone harming him will be severely taken care of?
Yeah, God's going to curse him sevenfold. Cain was a dirty, rotten killer, wasn't he?
Dirty rotten killer.
Yeah.
He was a dirty, rotten, ungodly body. He was a killer, okay? He was a killer. And God disapproved of his killing, didn't he? But he disapproved of his killing so much that he wanted Cain to live in a state of unforgiveness. And he wanted Cain to live
As
in
an
a
example
state
to others.
of fear.
He wanted him to suffer and
He
be
wanted
an
him to
example
suffer. This
to
is what we call punishment. God punished Cain. And this is Cain's punishment. Now I said, anybody that really kills him, I'm going to kill 7 times, sevenfold. I'm going to punish him sevenfold. Now we're not finished with what happened to Cain. Cain cursed the ground. When he killed his brother and shed his brother's blood, it said the ground's mouths of the ground drank his blood up, and it cursed the ground. The ground was cursed. Marilyn, do you have some water up here for me? The curse was, Cain cursed the ground. Now what occupation was Cain?
Farmer.
A farmer. From now on, he's not going to be a farmer. He's not going to be a farmer anymore. We're going to find out. He is going to be nomadic from now on. Before, a farmer is what? Sedentary. He stays in one place. A farmer has to stay in one place, okay? Now he was a farmer. Now God, the ground is not going to, absolutely not going to yield anything to him at all. It's cursed above.
That's just individually to him and nobody else.
Yeah, this was to him. His farm won't work anymore. His farm is over with. He brought a cursed offering from a cursed ground, and he didn't bring the right amount either. So now God says, since you didn't tithe, since you brought a cursed offering from a cursed ground, you will never grow anything again from the ground. Now, nomads. If you go over in the Middle East, what do nomads do?
Are they herders?
That was a bug.
What do you say?
You know, 57 nomad, 55 nomad, you know, the shipping.
Yeah.
No. What is a nomad? They move from place, they follow the grass.
They're
Nomads follow the grass. The movie Grass, you remember when I put the movie up here? And those Bedouins, those nomads are following the grass. Now, from now on, that's exactly what kind of lifestyle that Cain is going to have to live. He's going to have to follow the grass. He's not going to be planting any grass. He's going to be following grass.
He became a herder.
That's right. Now, he became
like
a herder.
Brother.
Before, he was a farmer. Now, he probably had cattle before and probably had sheep before. I'm sure that Cain did. But he's basically, he was a farmer. And, of course, every farm's got farm animals on it, doesn't it? But instead of bringing the farm animals, that an innocent animal would shed its blood for that which is guilty, all right, he wanted to bring produce because he wanted to show him God. God, you may have cursed the ground, but I can still get a lot of produce from it, and look what I brought. He was shaking his fist at God and even bring an offering from the ground. Brother Rex.
It says Abel was a herder.
He was a herder.
He didn't hunt animals at that time. What did he do with them?
Evidently, the only thing they did with them was to offer them as sacrifices, and they fleeced them. And they made clothing out of the fleece on the sheep and everything, okay? That's what they did. And, of course, you can milk a cow. You can milk a goat if you want to. How many of you ever had goats?
Better than cows.
I've had
Milk goats. All right.
Better for you.
You can have cheese. You can even milk a camel. Did you know that?
Yeah.
You can milk a horse. You ever milked a horse, brother?
No, but I've seen it done.
I've milked a horse. All of these animals, they could be milked. And cheese and butter and milk come from it, okay? So that's what they did with them, evidently at that period of time, okay? Now, 4:16. Do you have any other questions on that before we go? John, do you have anything?
So God was actually in reality using Cain as an example of an apostate.
Yes. Cain is an apostate. Cain knew the truth. Matter of fact, not only did he know the truth, he was supposed to be the perpetrator of, or the perpetuator of the truth, because he was the heir. Here is the heir. Cain was the heir. They thought, well, in 4:1, Eve says, I have gotten a man, even Jehovah. I gotten Jehovah. Here's the Messiah right here. And then he was a disappointment.
So
He
was
was a
Judah
murderer.
apostate too?
What?
Was Judah apostate?
Judas?
Judas, excuse me.
Well, sure he was.
Okay.
He's an apostate. He's one that stood away from the truth. He knew the truth. Why, sure, he was an apostle. He knew the truth. Absolutely. He knew who Jesus was. By the way, if I don't say this, I'm going to be in lots of trouble. I've already been in trouble once today. All right? You know what I'm talking about? Bill was here. He would know what I was talking about.
Because you're in trouble, man.
See this little thing here on this little tie tack right here? See this little tie tack, guys, girls? That tie tack, that little coin in there is 2,000 years old. That's a widow's mite from the time of Jesus, okay? That's what the widow put in the offering plate. It was a couple of these little things right here.
How did you get it?
My wife ordered this 3 or 4 years ago, and somehow or another we never got it. And it just came from Jerusalem this week.
From those people?
Huh?
The people?
They were here at church, you know, 2 or 3 years ago, you know, when they were selling these things. Anyway, this is a widow's mite tie tack, so that's what it is. That's why I've got this little funny looking coin in my tie tack, okay? That's what
How'd
it
you
is.
get in trouble over that?
Huh?
How'd you get in trouble?
Because I didn't tell the class this morning about it.
Oh. I can't believe it.
You wore this thing up there and you didn't say one word about it.
The nerve. Why would you?
The nerve of wearing that tie tack up there not saying anything about your tie tack.
Well, I thought they would be interested in seeing the widow's mite.
That's it. That's it right there. All right. 4:16. Are we ready for
Get up there
4:16?
where that they can see it?
Want me to go up there and show it on? I'll go right up there. Now, Marilyn, do you see this? See there? There it is. I got it right in there real good. They can see the widow's mic even on out there in radio
You
land.
can put two together.
and everything, okay? See? Am I out of trouble now?
Yes.
Is it better? Okay. All right, let's go on a little further now. Anybody read that first one? Randall, can you read that first one? Bayitzi. Bayitzi. Okay, B-A-I-Y-E-T-Z-E. Bayitzi. Say that. Bayitzi. And then Cain. You got Cain down yet? Cain. K-A-Y-I-N.
Last name.
Then here's a word that's a kind of a, this is a pretty neat word. Milifne. 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 M-I-L-L-I-F-N-E-I. Milifne. All right? And then we have the word what? What's that word? That's Jehovah. Halabar. Okay? And then we have the word Vayishev. Vayishev is V-A-I-Y-E-S-H-E-V. Vayishev.
One more time.
V-A-I-Y-E-S-H-E-V. Vayishev. And the next word is Be'eretz. 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 Be'eretz.
The earth.
That's right. See there, he's not even looking at anything. Look how smart that boy
What do you
is.
say?
Got A plus for tonight. Be'eretz. B-E-E-R-E-T-Z. Be'eretz. All right. And then the word nod. Nod. Nod.
What's the word for Greek gay for earth, right?
Yeah, get it.
I'm learning stuff, Jim.
That's right. You got it. All right. Nod. 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 That's how you say that. Nod. N-O-V-D. Nod. All right. Kidmot. Kidmot. K-I-D-M-O-T. Kidmot. Or Mat. Kidmat. And then Eden. Eden. E-D-E-N. You know that one, don't you? That one came right into English. Eden. Now let's go back and look at this here sentence. All right. Vayitzi, and went out, and kept on going out, kept on wandering, Cain. What does Cain mean?
Gotten.
Gotten, begotten.
Gotten or what?
Begotten.
Gotten or... Cain means gotten or possession.
Oh,
Did Cain ever have a possession after this?
yeah, because did he possess land?
Huh? He didn't have any more land.
Tents and
His
animals.
land wouldn't go. He became a follower of sheep and goats. He had no more possession. All right? Vayitze Cain Milefne. Milefne. That's M-I-L-L-I-F-N-E-I. From the faces. From the faces. That's what it meant. And went out Cain from the faces. Every expression, every face, every side of a face. The word panay there. You know, when Abraham later on, when Jacob saw the face of God, he named it El Panay. All right? Panay, the face of God. Panay. Remember what this pay is, Frere? What this pay is? Pay. What does that represent in the Hebrew alphabet? Pay. Pay. Remember, it's got a mouth and a tongue in it.
Oh, hold on, I'll tell you.
Pay. Right from the face. Mouth to mouth, nose to nose, face from face. No longer could he walk and talk and look at God in the face. Jehovah. God the Son that was walking in the garden. He could no longer fellowship with God the Son. No way. No longer could he. He went out and stayed out from the faces. The physical presence of Jehovah. All right? And he kept on driving down tent pegs and picking them up. Driving them down and picking them up. Driving them down and picking them up. What do you do with a tent peg? You stake it in the ground and then you pull it up. When the grass would go away, they pulled up tent stakes and they would go. And it says, and by Yeshev, and he kept on settling. He kept on settling down Be'eretz. Be'eretz. Okay, Eretz means land, doesn't it? Eretz. Eretz, land. Okay, Be means in. Be. All right, Be. Remember our base, wherever that base was? I don't know why I wrote it up there or not. Base looks like this. My base will look like this. It'll have a little keel on it right there. I'll say Be'eretz. Be'eretz. In the land. When you have a B on the front of it, it means in. Okay? Be'eretz. In land of wandering. Word nod there means wandering. How many of you ever, how many of you remember seeing the movie that I put up here? This would have been a good thing to put up here tonight because this is so much relates to the grass, the movie Grass, where they wandered from place to place. They were traveling and wandering and traveling and wandering and chasing the grass. All right? The land of wandering.
Well, you have underneath there the Ganges River area.
Yep. All right. Now, Brother Hubbard told me a long time ago. You can, by the way, you can look up this this in 627. If you want to look that word "nod" up in the Brown Driver and Briggs, look it up on page 627. It means the darkness. It means the jungle, India, the land of the Ganges River. And if you see HTH down there, that's what Brother Hubbard said. He added this as he was teaching this to me in Hebrew so many years ago, back in the 70s, I guess. All right. This land he just kept on wandering in. It was a nomadic land. He would eat grass and his cattle would eat and they would wander. And then the word kidmot, that means east. All right? Eastward. East means the front, is what it means. Brother Randall, have you studied what the word east means?
East, I know.
East. When the sun comes up, where does it come from? The east is considered the front of the earth, where the sun
You
rises.
talking about that videotape you watching?
No. You look up the word east in the Hebrew, and it'll say that they look at the word east as the front of the earth. That's where the sun comes up, in the front of the earth. The back of the earth would be the south. That's the west. That's where the sun goes down. But the front of the earth, eastward, it says, now he went eastward of Eden. Eden. What does Eden mean?
Paradise.
Eden means a pleasure park. It means a garden. He went eastward of this Eden. All right? Now the line of Cain, if you want to write this down, the line of Cain does not exist today. Do you know that? It's all gone. What period of time in history? This is real time now. I really believe the Bible is a real book. The Bible, when God created man, basically 4,000 years ago, when Adam was created. I mean, not 4,000 years ago, 4,000 BC, that is. Okay? Now, the line of Cain lasted from about 3847 BC. 3847 BC till about 3300 BC. And what took that place there about 3300 BC?
3,800.
No, build a boat.
They wouldn't get in the boat. They weren't sailors.
He ended at the flood.
His line ended there. All right? From about, what?
A lot of lines ended there.
All of these other lines ended there. Okay?
How about Methuselah?
Methuselah is the son of the dark. When he's dead, it shall come to pass.
Right, so is his line dead too?
No.
The flood is at
That's the
3,800.
The Jews.
3,800 BC is a flood.
Yeah, 3300 BC. From 3847 to 3300 BC. 38. Now, when you go BC, you go, the big number is the furthest back, and the lesser number is the one closest to
And
us.
he said 3,300.
3847 to 3300 BC. Okay?
So
Now, that's what one Bible scholar's authority said. Okay?
So Iraq and Iran and all those countries now are not, those people are not descendants of...
Now, they got a different point. Cain's line is gone. Now, what the people used to say, that God put a mark on Cain. Now, I mean, and then later on, they get the Bible mixed up a little bit. Remember, we had a lot of people that believed in slavery for many years in this country. Didn't they? I mean, they still do it. I mean, the big organizations and stuff, they still slaving people. But at one time, man owned other men. Okay? And one of the reasons for doing that is they said that these people were cursed. All right? And the reason why they could own them and use them as slaves is because God cursed them.
And this is the part that...
Instead of them made them black.
It's a mistranslation.
Well, it's a misinterpretation of the Bible altogether.
From the Latin part of it?
No.
It says
This is
It's not even a translation, it's
Hebrew.
just.
It's not even, it's
made
a
it up.
philosophy.
Okay, but that happened for a long time though, right? I mean,
Well, yeah.
'cause that's why.
You ask people today, and some of the people in the South will still tell you this.
Because they'll miss the curse, right? They try to miss the curse.
You've got to keep everything separate. Even when God cursed Canaan and Cain. A lot of people got Canaan and Cain mixed up. Canaan and Cain are two different people. Canaan is over on this side. Remember, on this side. Now, one line of his people were dark, and that's where they get this thing mixed up with it. Okay? Ham had Canaan. All right? The Canaanites. The Canaanites were cursed, and they were supposed to be slaves to Israel. And they got this all mixed up with that later on, and it has nothing to do with each other at all. Okay? We got to keep
But I'm
it.
saying, the curse you're talking about still, it went on just...
It went on
It's
only
still going
on
on
these
in a way.
people. It only went on Cain for the first place. Cain was cursed. All right, Cain was cursed.
But you're saying in the South, they still talk about it, how it's like that, right?
Yes, in some places. I mean, in the
Kentucky or...
some of my teachers were in the Ku Klux Klan. Okay, a lot of them were in the Ku Klux Klan.
The Ku Klux.
All right, I'm not kidding you.
That explains it all, Jim.
All right, I'm not kidding.
The Ku Klux Klan wasn't always just against like black people, was it? It
No,
was.
it's
It was
everybody.
sort of like a.
Anybody non-white.
Anybody but an Anglo-Saxon.
I thought it was
They
kind of
hate
like a
Jews,
pro-America
they hate
type.
All right, let's don't get into that one. We'll go too far. I could lecture for an hour on that, but I'm not going to, okay? But I'm just telling you where this misnomer came from so you will know. All right? Cain only was cursed. Cain was cursed. No one else. Cain was cursed. Now, because Cain was cursed, he cursed his children too. He cursed his own children. Because he was an ungodly buzzard. He was a rebel. He was supposed to be a spiritual leader. All right? He was a spiritual reprobate instead. All right. Eastward of Eden. All right? Now, 4:17. Let's go on a little further. You ready to quit here, or you want to go on further?
I can go a little more. You have to go. I'm not sorry, I don't mean to leave, but I have to leave first because I'm supposed to...
Brother, tonight, if you leave, you're going to lose a finger.
Yeah? Well, I'm just telling you, so people don't think I'm just walking out being rude.
You already own it.
If you have to leave, go ahead, brother. We're not going to cut your finger off for leaving. You know, that's what they used to do when the guy was stealing, you know, and they cut one of the fingers off. The next time, he lost his hand. Vayida. Cain. It. All right, let's go back, because I keep forgetting that I need to spell these out for you. Vayida, V-A-I-Y-E-D-A.
You know, we can make up our own spelling if we want, right? Just whatever
Yeah.
we think sounds like what you said.
But I want to
right?
make sure you get it, okay? Cain, because I want you to repeat it after me, see, like next
Yeah.
time. Cain, K-A-Y-I-N. Et, E-T. Ishtov. Ishtov.
Ishtov.
I-S-T-O-V. Ishtov. And then the next word on the next line is Bat-Tahar. Bat-Tahar. B-A-T-T-A-H-A-R. Bat-Tahar. Okay. And then Bat-Tiled. B-A-T-T-A-L-E-D. Bat-Taled. Bat-Taled. Et. You ought to have that et down. All right? That's an easy one, isn't it? Next time we come to et, I'm going to let you guys say it. All right? And Chanavok. 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 C-H-A-N-O-V-C-H. Chanavok. All right? And then the next one is Bahi. Bahi.
Became?
Bahi. The next line, third line. Bahi, B-A-Y-H-I. Bahi. And then Boneh. B-O-N-E-H. Boneh. And then ear. Ear. I-R. Ear. And then Vayikra. Vayikra. That doesn't look like it's that long, but it's V-A-I-Y-I-K-R-A. Ir Vayikra. All right? And then Shem. See the word Shem? Shem down there. Shem, that's an easy one. It's got a shin and a mem at the end of it. Shem. And then Ha'ir. Ha'ir. H-A-I-R. Ha'ir. And then Kishem. Kishem. K-E-S-H-E-M. Kishem. And Benov. Benov. B-E-N-O-V. Benov. And then Chanovik. Chanovik.
What?
Chanovik, that means Enoch.
Chanabet.
Uh-huh. Chanovik. C-H-A-N-O-V-C-H. Now let's go back and look at this verse. Here's where Cain got his wife, all right? And kept on having sexual relationships. That's what it means there. That's der Vayida. He kept on having sexual relationships, Cain, at his wife, his woman, et Ishto. Let's start out. Vaya, Cain, et Ishto. Can you say that?
Vayed.
Cain, et Ishto. You are doing great, Linda. Absolutely great. Great.
I'm listening to you.
Okay, that's if you can repeat it now, just look at it. Now, when you write it down, look at the Hebrew and say it, and you will learn a little Hebrew by exposure. All right? Vayida Cain et Ishto, and kept on having sexual relationships with Cain, his wife. Bat Tahar, and she caught. She held together, she received. All right? She received, Brother Hubbard used to say, she received blood. She received blood. All right? In the human life, when a woman has an embryo in her, when the sperm goes in and unites with that embryo, blood shows up in it. The blood comes from the man. And this Hebrew, it talks about the whole idea of the conception. Cain kept on having sexual relationships with his wife, and she held together, she received the sperm and held on to it. And it became blood, and it became heat, and it became life. All right? In blood, what keeps your body, what keeps your hands and your feet warm? Second line down. Second line down. Bat Tahar. All right? And what keeps... if you go in the hospital after you've had an operation or something, do they ever feel your fingertips and your feet? Do you ever do that?
Yeah.
What?
Warmth.
To see if you've got circulation, because the blood carries heat with it. That's the idea in this word, Vatahar. All right? And Bataled, and she brought forth. She kept on bringing forth. All right? She kept on having kids. Remember, how many kids can a woman have? They're still in a woman's womb. Still has 1,000 ovums in it, little eggs. A woman could have 1,000 children, and they were having a bunch of them back then, and they were having multiple births. Okay, and she kept on getting pregnant, and she kept on brooding these babies in her womb. That's what the whole idea of what it's saying here in Hebrew. And she kept on bringing forth, and then it says Et Enoch. What does Enoch mean? Now, I want you to see these names. These names are very similar to the ones in the faith line. Later on, it's going to tell us that God replaced Cain with another man. What was his name? What? Zeth. Zeth means what? Substitute. Substitute. Zeth means substitute. All right? God replaced Cain. Cain was the spiritual leader of the family, was to be. But he got replaced because he flopped. He was a reprobate. All right? And now this word Enoch. What does Enoch mean? Remember what Enoch means? It's Chanach. That's how you say it in Hebrew. It's Enoch in English. Well, what does that name mean? Teacher. Teacher. Now he named his son Teacher. All right? Teacher. Enoch. Chanach. Enoch. All right, Enoch. Right down there, the second line down.
You wrote Enosh on mine
Enoch. I probably. Yeah, you're way off, I think. Yeah, you're way over. Let's get way back over yonder. What? We're on 17? 417. We're on the right. If you get in the right verse, you can tell that one better. All right, 417. All right. Very good. All right. 417. They brought forth Enoch, teacher. Now, if you see these names in the line of rebellion are so much like the same names as in the line of the faith. This is teacher. What do you think this boy was teaching? Huh? What was this boy teaching? What he learned from his daddy. I don't care what you do. When you raise children, they're going to imitate you. Even if they don't like what you're doing.
This is a different Enoch, right?
Yeah, this is a different Enoch. This isn't the good Enoch, this is the bad Enoch. This Enoch's line ends and goes away. All right? And then Vahi, and he became. All right? Vahi, he became one building. All right? One continually building. City. Ir. All right? Ir. City. Ir. By the way, is there a city called Ur?
Yeah, the Chaldees.
Ur the Chaldees. All right? Maybe this city goes all the way back yonder to this. Okay? Ur. And he called by Yikra. Say by Yikra. By Yikra. He called Shem Ha'ir. Ha'ir. The city, he called the name, or the word name there means monument also, Shem. Name or monument. They were proud of who they were, so they built a city according to the name. Keshem, according to the name, Keshem. Benoth, his son. All right? Enoch. So they named the city Enoch. All right? He named the city Enoch. Teacher. All right.
I need the last two words there.
Okay.
How to spell.
Okay. Benov, B-E-N-O-V. B-E-N-O-V. That's one, his son, Benov. Benov, his son. Chanach. Chanach. C-H-A-N-O-V-C-H. Chanach, or Enoch. It's actually Chanach in Hebrew instead of Enoch. All right?
His wife had a kid named Enoch, and he built a city and named it
And named that the city after Enoch. Okay? All right, he kept on building the city, and he named the city Enoch. All right, in the land of wandering. Even though he was wandering, he was building a city. Now you have to realize that the people that wandered out, they had a city where they went, and the cities were an idea of protection. Okay? They would go wander in the daytime, and then they'd go into a city and sleep at nighttime where they could be protected because they were afraid. All right. Now, was there fear? Was Enoch or was Cain paranoid about his killing his brother?
Yes.
Yeah. He was afraid somebody's going to kill him. So he goes over and he builds a city, a fortress. Okay. And all of the ancient cities, there was in a city, there were many little houses or whatever, but they had barriers or walls around them, and they had a gate and everything. And then in your what we call your Spanish-style homes are built like this. A Spanish-style home, a hacienda. In the hacienda, with inside the compounds of the hacienda, is a house and patios all around it, and trees and everything in here, and a wall and a gate. Okay? That comes all the way from the Middle East. That's where this comes from, way back yonder in time. Okay? You want another verse, or you want me to turn you loose? You want another verse? One more verse? John, you came a long way. I'll let you overrule the rest of them. All right.
I want to know the spelling on the very last word you did.
The very last word is Chanok.
Oh.
All right? C-H-N-O-V-C-H. Chanok. Okay? And then, now we have another word. Are you on number 18, Brother Rex? You up there on number 18? 18. 18. You up there? Okay. It says, and was born. See that down there? You see where it says, and was born? Okay, now right above that is this word in Hebrew. Vayivaled. Vayivaled. V-A-I-Y-E-V-V-A-L-E-D. Vayivaled. And then the next word is La Chanok. La Chanok. L-A-C-H-A-N-O-V-C-H. La Chanok. That's to Enoch. La Chanok. All right, to Enoch. What's the next word? What's that next one?
It.
Et. Well, I tell you, look at that. Got it. That girl's reading Hebrew. All right. Irad. Irad. Et Irad. I-R-A-D. Irad. And then we have the word Ve'irad. Ve and then Irad. Ve'irad. V-E-I-R-A-D. That's the second word down, second line. Okay? And then Yalid. Yalid. Y-A-L-A-D. Yalid. And then what's the next word? Et. Hebrew scholars.
I need the first spelling of the first word there.
Okay. V-Irad. V-E-I-Rad. I-A-I-R-A-D. V-Irad. We had two irads right in a row. One of them had an end in front of it. That's the V. All right. Yalad, et, Y-A-L-A-D, Yalad, and then et, E-T, and then Mi-Chu-Ya-El, 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 M-E-C-H-U-Y-E-L.
That's on the third line there?
That's the second line down. The
Oh,
last
second.
word in the second line.
Okay. How do you spell it?
Mi-Chu-Ya-El.
Spell it.
What?
Spell it.
M-E-C-H-U-Y-A-E-L. And then you make Cha-Ya-El. All right? U-M-E-C-H-I-Y-Y-E-L. You may Cha-Ya-El. That's a name. Yalid. Yalid. That means to beget, to generate. Yalid. Y-A-L-A-D. That's Mehu-Jael. And then Yalid. And then what's that word? Next word? Et. Thank you, Shirley. Et. And now this word here
What was
is.
he begot? I was sleeping through that.
What's that?
He begot
Yalid.
Yalid.
Yalid. Y-A-L-A-D. Yalid. We've had two Yalids here so far in this verse.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Yalid. And then et. And then Metushael. Metushael. All right? Metushael. M-E-T-U-S-H-A-E-L. Metushael. And then it's you met to Tushael. All right? You met Tushael. Is the next word.
Lost.
The last one.
The last one?
Okay, the last line there now, we have Metushael, and then you Metushael. You Metushael. U-M-E-T-U-S-H-A-E-L. Okay? We have Metushael and you Metushael. Yalad. Yalad. Y-A-L-A-D. And what's the next word? What's that next word? Et. All right. And then the next one. Lamech. That one's just like it is in English, isn't it? Lamech. 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 That's a guy's name. All right. So let's get this verse now. Let's look at it. Shirley, you like this? You picking up some of this Hebrew now? Just a little bit. You know what it is, don't you?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Oh, we got that one figured out. Let's look at it up here. There's it, just like that. See that one? That's what it looks like. It.
Mm-hmm.
3 little dits there, which makes it. It. All right. By Yivlad. All right. And was born to Enoch, La Chanach. Okay, let's read the whole verse together. Go back real quick. By Yivlad. Arad. Yalad. Et. That's right. Mechujael. All right. You Mechujael. And then Yalad. Et. Metushael. Dalit. Oh boy, I tell you what. That's good. That's good. And was born to Enoch, to teacher, Jared. We got the word Jared from that now, Jared. What does Jared mean? Remember what Jared means? You can look that one up on page about 747 in Brown, Driver, and Briggs, okay? It means descending. Descending. Jared means descending. Now, in the faith line, was there a Jared? Yes, there was. All right. Copycats. The old devil's a copycat, isn't he? The Lord founded his church, and the devil founded 1,000 of them. Made them so mixed up they don't know up from down. And Jared, descending. All right. Like Jared. All right. Jared and Arid. All right. That's what it says. And Arid. See the word "ve" on the front of it? Ve-Arad and Jared. He begat Yalad et Mechujael. Mechujael. All right? Mechujael. And you know what Mechujael means? God is fighting. God is fighting. That's what it means. God is fighting. God is fighting or struck by God. All right? And by the way, his lifespan was about 3,700 B.C. is when he was born, about 3,700 B.C. Now, I'm taking this off of calendars and Bibles, okay? And by the way, Jared was 3840 to 30, well, somewhere around 3840 is when he was born, okay? About 3840, if you want to put this down. And then we have the Mehujael, all right? Mehujael, and he was born about 3,700 BCE. And Mehujael means what? God is fighting or struck by God. Who was struck by God, by the way? Who was struck by God? Who did God put a mark on? Cain. All right, struck by God. So he's putting that in his line. And he begat, and he begat, perfect tense, cal perfect, et Methushael. Methushael. What does Methushael mean? Remember what that one means? Methushael? All right. All right. That's man of God. Okay, man of God. About 3,800 B.C. And then Methushael, you Metushael, and Metushael, he begat Yalad et Lamech. All right, Melech. Lamech, that is, Lamech. What does Lamech mean? That means wild man. It means a warrior. It means a king. It also is closely related to Adonai. Adonai. Adonai means what? Lord of Lords. This man was a fighter. This man was an overthrower. All right, he was a king. He was a rebel. And by the way, we've got a pretty good idea of when this man lived, from about 3130 to 2353 BC. Okay, 3130 to 2350 BC. All right, somewhere around there. All right, next week we're going to begin in polygamy. Joseph Smith is born. Next week.
We're going to do what? Polygamy?
We're going to start into polygamy. He's not satisfied with one woman, he's got to have two of them. Okay? Got to have two of them. Are you getting any of this? Is this settling down just a little bit? I know it's hard. But there's some good stuff in here.
With you spelling it, that really helps.
That helps you when I'm spelling. All right.
Then I can go back and kind of
And then you can
try
go back
to
and
sound
look
it out
at it.
with you.
Do you know what this word means now?
Yeah.
Et. We've all got et. All right?
What
We've
it
got
means?
et down. And let me look up here. Let me show you something. There are words here that we have. There's words that you're going to see over and over again. What does Viomer mean? Viomer? Viomer? What does Viomer mean? And he said, all right, and this word here like this, what is that word? That word is the name of God. That's Jehovah. And this word?
Elohim.
Elohim. Elohim. Now, I didn't point it or anything, but here we have Elohim. That's his God, the supreme God, all right? Jehovah Elohim, the name of God, Jehovah Elohim. When God deals with mankind, it's always Jehovah, the covenant God, dealing with mankind. This is the one, Jehovah is the one that makes all the covenants with man. He is the one that covenanted himself to, remember this morning we studied about God was always going to have a king. He always planned on having a king. Always. That was not an afterthought. God wanted to have a king in Israel. When he called Israel out, in Genesis, the 38th chapter, he promised a king. And that king would be David. That was going to be the first king of Israel, but Israel got in a hurry and they wanted Saul. Saul's line, there was a covenant that God made with Saul, and Saul broke the covenant, and that's what you call a conditional covenant, but the covenant with David was an unconditional covenant. Unconditional. There were no conditions because God was going to bring forth the Messiah through the loins of David. And you go back in the book of Ruth, and Ruth is the book that tells us about the kinsman redeemer. If you go back, you're going to see the line. All the lines go back to David. David is the king, and through David would come the Messiah. All right? And the Messiah, this final Messiah, in Deuteronomy 10:17, was it 10:17? 10:17, I think it is. Deuteronomy 10:17. It said that the name of God, Jehovah, Adonai Ha-Adonai, the Jehovah, the God, Jehovah God, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And then in the book of Revelation, the 19th chapter, what does it call Jesus? What did he have a name on him? King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He is the final king, but he would come through the physical line of David. All right? He would come through the physical line of David. Now that kind of does away with your Jehovah's Witness theory of angel stuff. Well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it does. It does away with it because that's not the purpose. God didn't send an angel. God came himself to be our Messiah and our final king. And he came through the blood and through the line of David. So he would be related to us, kinsman redeemer, and then he's going to rule and reign in New Jerusalem. We're going to even see, we're going to study the temple on Sunday morning pretty soon.
Well, I heard a different story just the other night on TV. Who's that guy's name? He said,
Grant Jackson?
no, idiot. The singer. Oh, anyway, when a gay singer, he said God, Christ was a good, compassionate gay man.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, you know, they always try to. They also say David and Jonathan were lovers.
Yeah.
Because they loved each other. That's a bunch of baloney too. They were not lovers. They loved each other, but they weren't lovers. All right. They got to make an excuse for their illicit, perverted lifestyle. All right. Do you have any other questions before I turn you loose on the world? Go out there and do something eternal this week. Any questions? Shirley, you're really picking some of this up. I see you doing. All right. You 15 weeks ago, you couldn't even know what that word meant.
No.
Now you do. Brother John, is it rubbing off on you just a little bit?
Rubbing more off than on.
I teach Hebrew by induction. I teach Greek by induction. You just sit there, we read it, and pretty soon, all of a sudden, you start to where you can read it. You got to participate and look at it and say it, but you will get it. Sooner or later, you're going to get it. Next week, we get into polygamy. Like I said, we're going to study about Joseph Smith. What is the date today? Is this the 21st? Or?
Yes.
I put the 10th month down there. That wasn't right.
Is that where the Mormons get their belief from?
No, not really. Not really. Joseph Smith is where they get their beliefs and all their doctrine and everything else. Joseph Smith and Brigham Young. And both of those were heretics. They didn't have any revelation. The revelation is in the book. We're studying the book. All right.
God tells them to do something, the rebels want to do just the opposite.
That's right. The rebels. They were rebels just like Cain. But they've cursed so many people, haven't they? Let's have a word of prayer, and I'm going to turn you loose out on the world. Father, thank you for your word tonight that we studied. I pray that it sinks into people's hearts. I pray that it goes out into the world also, and that people will learn from it and understand your word better. Forgive me where I fail you, and watch over me this week. Help me to study more so I can feed your people. Thank you for all the blessings in your word and for the care that you had for us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Jim, some of those you made extra copies, so I counted.